Hi, I'm Georgia, and today I will be going through the citric acid cycle, also known as the Krebs cycle. This comes from the process of glycolysis into the cytoplasm. The cycle is happening in the mitochondrial matrix. Now, what is the citric acid cycle? It is a series of chemical reactions used by all aerobic organisms to generate energy through the oxidation of acetate derived from carbohydrates, fats, and proteins into carbon dioxide. What does the cycle require? The input is 2-pyruvate, which is converted into 2-acetyl-CoA and 2-oxaloacetate. What does it make? It makes 2 ATP, 8 NADHs, 6 CO2, and 2 FADHs. Now, what actually happens during the cycle? It is an 8-step process, and it's pretty complicated, but I'm going to try to shorten it up a little bit. There are 8 steps in the process. The first step is a condensation step, combining the 2 carbon acetyl groups with a 4-carbon oxaloacetate molecule to form a 6-carbon molecule of citrate. The second step. Citrate loses 1 water molecule and gains another as it's converted into its isomer, isocitrate. Steps 3 and 4. Isocitrate is oxidized and produces a 5-carbon molecule, a ketoglutarate, together with a molecule of CO2 and 2 electrons, which reduce NAD+ and NADH. Both steps 3 and 4 are oxidation and decarboxylation group steps. That means that they release electrons that reduce to NAD+ to NADH and release carboxyl groups that form CO2 molecules. A ketoglutarate is the product of step 3, and a sunosyl group is the product of step 4. Step 5. A phosphate group is put in for coenzyme A, and a high-energy bond is formed. Step 6. A dehydration process that converts the succinate into fumarate. 2 hydrogen atoms are transferred to FAD. That produces FAHD2. The energy contained in the electrons of these atoms is insufficient to reduce NAD+, but adequate to reduce FAD. Unlike NADH, this carrier remains attached to the enzyme and transfers the electrons to the electron transport chain directly. This process is made possible by the localization of the enzyme catalyzing this step inside the inner membrane of the mitochondrion. Step 7. Water is added to the fumarate and malate is produced. Step 8. Oxaloacetate is regenerated by oxidizing malate, and another molecule of NADH is produced. Some key takeaways. The 8 steps of the cycle are a series of redox, hydration, and dehydration and decarboxylation reactions. The oxaloacetate that began the cycle is regenerated after the 8 steps. And each turn of the cycle forms 1 GTP or ATP, as well as 3 NADH molecules and 1 FADH2 molecule, which will be used in further steps of cellular respiration to produce ATP for the cell. That's all for today. Thank you.